So, shall I start with our president, or shall I leave him to last? I'll
First,
leave you to last. You're the president, I'll leave you to last. You're the hot shot, I'll leave you to last. So, let's start with Aydın, Artyomi. First of all, it's not just the number of grammar mistakes you made, it's the proportion of the grammar mistakes to the amount that you taught. And if we take a ratio between the number of grammar mistakes you made and the time you talked, I think it was excellent, because it's very small. There are 4 mistakes, but if we consider the length of speech, it's peanuts. 50% of marriages end in a divorce. Now this is actually not a grammar mistake, but it is unconventional to say it this way. Because you're talking about a generality, you should not say a divorce. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Talking about Sercan, you said, she came second place. Now, here, if you want to use the word came, you say she came second. But if you want to say place, you should say she ranked second place, or she ranked second. The third mistake is what many of you did. Now we'll indicate which people did it. Here we are speaking professionally, in a professional environment. We should not be using slang. So a lot of you say gonna instead of going to. This is street language. But in Toastmasters, unless you are giving a speech where you act somebody, you should not say gonna, you should say going to. Why do you use a Turkish word in an English sentence? It's my favorite movie of all time, yeah. Yes. I mean, it's my favorite movie of all time, is it? Yeah. Yes.
no.
But congratulations, you used the word, as a word master, gold once correctly. So let's get to Fatima. The best person, I'm sorry, the best whom you're going to vote for. When you were explaining your role, you said, the best whom you're going to vote for. This is not the correct way of using whom. You should have said, the best person you're going to vote for. Yavuz Selim. Last meeting of the 2017. Where's Yavuz Selim? Yeah. If you want to use the there, you should have said, last meeting of the year 2017. See, we don't use the before numbers by themselves. Okay? Again, you used gonna. Stayed all night to finish the project. Second time, you said it correctly. Stayed up all night to finish the project. And congratulations, you also used the word goal correctly. One sentence you used, I did not understand what you mean. I'm not desperate for procrastination. How can you be desperate for procrastination? I'm not desperate for love. I'm not desperate for that woman's attention. But I'm not desperate for procrastination. You could have said, I'm not hooked on this procrastination, or something like that. So, yeah, a lot of people use gonna. Neji! Okay. Neji, you don't take revenge, like intikam almak in Turkish. You either get revenge, or you just revenge. By the way, I saw the movie you're talking about. She succeeded on this. You don't succeed on something in English, you succeed in something. She succeeded in this. Her goals were, congratulations, you also used goals correctly.
No, it was written on the page.
I think what she would work on. No, I think what she should work on. The word that you want to use there is not would, but should. And then, I would suggest that she work on. First of all, this is not a grammar mistake, but a better word there is, I recommend that she work on. Why say I would recommend that she work on? I recommend that she work on. Right? It's better. Turhan. Okay, actually this is the A counter's job, but it also overlaps with grammar. You use the silence filler, you know too much. And that messes up your grammar as well. You know. Right? Okay. Okay, in English, you don't play in movies. In Turkish you say, filmde oynamak. But in English you either act or you take a role in a movie. Okay, so he plays an inspirational English teacher. No, he acts as an inspirational teacher, or he stars as an inspirational teacher. Okay, so who's next? Ebru Demirel. Congratulations, that was a good speech. Okay, this is not a grammar mistake, but our English teacher in the US told us that in English it's better to put I at the end. For example, I and many women, the conventional English is to say many women and I. That's not a mistake, but it's more common in English. Okay, when we put up the car to the hotel, when we put up the car to the hotel, when we parked the car to the hotel, how can you put up the car in the hotel? Okay. What does fail means? It should be what does fail mean, because this is a simple present tense. And you already have the S at the end of do, does. So if you put it at the end of mean as well, it's becoming double S, which is a wrong, which is a mistake in the simple present tense. So what does fail mean, not what does fail means. Sarjana. Firstly, I believe you already are good. Okay, I will get into Negel's territory a little bit.
No problem. Go ahead.
I think you are already good in English speaking, in public speaking. I'm sure you will be better. I've noticed, before your grammar points, that you are quite fluent and comfortable in speaking English as well. And I disagree with the evaluator that you should throw out your acting. It's great, continue. Now, again, I have 7 grammar points for you, but compared to the sophistication of your speech, I think this is a low number. Any other person would have probably made much more mistakes in this kind of speech. First one was, my parents was so amazing. This is a plural sentence. You should have said, my parents were so amazing. Your parents told you, please learn speaking English. No, please learn to speak English. It's better. They sent me a private college. Well, this would be correct in French. They sent me to a private college. After 3 years' time, when you say after 3 years, you don't need to add time. It's just after 3 years. Your teacher told you, you will never can do this English. Sorry. You will never.
That was your teacher's fault.
You will never. You will never learn English good.
Maybe she said so.
That was the teacher's mistake.
Then this correction is to your teacher. She said, you can never learn English well. That should be.
Teacher was bad.
I disagree with this.
Teacher didn't speak English.
I'm doing a public speaking to you. No, come on. I'm delivering a public speech to you. That's much better. Okay. And last but not least, I was escaping from English. Escaping from English. I was avoiding English. I was avoiding speaking English. Now, native speakers of English, 99.9% of them, whether they are American, Canadian, English, South American, Australian, New Zealander, 99.9% of them make this mistake, and it drives me crazy. I was just hoping that Eric wouldn't do it, but he did. And that is, why do you, in plural sentences, use singular words? There is 2 things. There are 2 things. You don't say there is 2 things.
Did I say that?
99.9% of native speakers say, there is many problems here. So there are many problems. There's many chairs. There are. Well, why don't you make it plural, for God's sake?
That bothers me also. I can't.
Yeah. And I was just when I said this guy hasn't made any mistakes, he did make one. Unbelievable.
Rasih,
Very time.
Rasih, before you put me onto the wall, I am officially inviting Eric to be grammarian in our next meeting.
Okay.
Just get the opportunity.
Well, this brings to you. Who said he did not make any mistakes?
No one.
No one.
Oh, all right. A group of people who doesn't know each other. A group of people who don't know each other. It's
No, that's correct.
What?
A group of people is singular. Because he's talking about a group.
A group of people?
Who doesn't know?
No. A group of people who don't know each other.
No.
You wanna?
People is singular. A group of people is singular.
Group is singular. If you say a group doesn't, a group that doesn't know. If you say a group of people, it becomes plural
No.
and it is
Let's
don't.
ask Eric.
I think I did the mistake,
You're
right?
right, you are
You're
right.
right.
Wow, that is big.
If we had said a group, you were right. But when we say a group of people, it becomes don't.
Rasih,
Okay.
sad, but sometimes.
Now,
Mr. Rasih, that was my mistake, right?
what?
No,
No,
man.
Yes. Formal. Do their plans. You don't do a plan, you make a plan. Okay, we have to. Now, we have to, actually, it's not a grammar mistake, but when you are explaining something that happened in the past, you should have said, we had to, not we have to. The second experience, I will be touching. You don't really touch experience, you touch a point, but you don't touch experience. You say, the second experience I will be mentioning. And why will be mentioning? The second experience I will mention. Right, okay. Just a few more.
Enough.
Fatma, gonna, don't say gonna, come on. Burcu sucuka. I know swimming. Now this is Turkish. Yüzme biliyorum. In English you don't know swim. Where's the gym? Okay. You can swim or you are able to swim. Like not, I know swimming. Mustafa, nothing. I didn't catch anything, Mustafa. I didn't catch anything. Where's Yeşim? Okay. You made us get involved. There's a simpler way of saying it. That's not wrong grammatically, but you got us involved. That's better. It took my attention. You don't take attention, it caught my attention. To listen you. You don't listen. To listen to you. Holding your hands like this. Now, when you do this, we don't call it holding hands in English. We call it clutching. You're clutching your hands like this. Right? Okay, these are not grammar points. Pronunciation, I have to mention these because you have some serious pronunciation mistakes as well. Gestures. We should say gestures. I know it's spelled with a G, but it's gestures, not gestures. And not exciting. Not Z for Zonguldak, but S for something. Exciting. Gülden Akdemir. You have not given a story about. You don't give stories in English, you tell stories, so you have not told a story about, and it's even better to say you did not tell a story about. Okay? There's just one person left, I believe. Hakan. Did Hakan speak? Yes, okay. Okay, when you ask a question, you can say, what are you going to talk about? But if you make a positive statement instead of asking a question, if you say, you have no idea what are you going to talk about? In this case, because it's a positive statement, you change the places of are and you. You say, you have no idea what you are going to talk about. Okay? I don't advise you to be a hero. Advice is a noun. It's not a verb. And a better word there would be, I don't recommend you to be a hero. Not I don't advise you to be a hero like an advisor. I don't recommend you to be a hero. Ah, Mr. President, the last one, right?
I'm a native speaker. I have the right to do a mistake.
How many of you have heard of Toastmasters? How many have you heard of Toastmasters? You're talking about the past tense. Right. Don't forget what you give. Don't forget what you gave. Because you had already collected the papers, you say don't forget what you gave. By the way, I got back exactly the same
Really?
paper that I wrote. And the word I wrote was work, and I got back work. I don't want to work.
And you need nothing.
I would like to invite our Toastmasters of the evening. When you were inviting, I did. You said, I would like to invite Toastmasters of the evening. I was expecting more than one Toastmaster on the stage. But he came. I would like to invite Toastmaster of the evening. Now, to demonstrate your other grammar mistakes, I have to take the boomerang.
Of course.
Right. So, when you were talking about whatever you give comes back, you threw the boomerang like this. Look, you don't throw the boomerang like this. I've lived in Australia. You throw the boomerang like this. That's a grammar mistake. Another one is, oh, I forgot this one. That's the way I like. In English, you don't say it that way. That's the way I like it. In fact, there's a song, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
That's the way.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. It's at the end. Okay, last but not least. You see, gathering food. That's a body language mistake, not a grammar mistake. I have to tell you, body language. You don't gather food like this. You have to gather food. If you're saying you're gathering food, you have to make this body language. Gathering food. How can you gather food like this? You got to gather food like this.
There's
Okay,
a-
that completes-
There's a tree there.